I've always hated driving at night. It always felt so unsafe, like something can jump out at me at any moment. But after what happened to me a couple of years ago, I'm terrified of it. I was driving through an abandoned country road somewhere in West Virginia at around 2 a.m. I had been driving for hours. All I wanted to do was to go to sleep, but there were no motels in sight. I noticed a lean, tall man with brown hair standing at the side of the road. His clothes were old and tattered. He appeared to be hitchhiking. I ignored him at first, but it was as something was compelling me to let him in. I approached him and slowed down. He noticed me. I asked him if he needed a ride. He nodded. I let him in. I wish I never had. "So," I said, "where are you headed?" "Anywhere." There was something off about the way he spoke. He didn't have an accent or anything. It's just that his voice was so generic. It sounded automated, like something you'd hear in a text-to-speech program. The cryptic answer he gave unsettled me. Anywhere? What the hell did he even mean by that? "I'm sorry?" I said anywhere. His voice had become firmer, more commanding. Something about it compelled me to just keep driving further and further, and before I knew it, I was surrounded by total darkness. My car had broken down. I couldn't move. I began hyperventilating, a cold sweat running down my back. Dark figures began circling around the car. Some pressed their shadowy hands against the windows. Others scratched the car. There were even some faint whispers. I felt as if I were about to pass out. This couldn't be happening. I tried desperately to close my eyes, to get away from whatever the hell was going on, but I was paralyzed. More figures began looking through the windows, looking right at me. I looked right back at them, unable to look anywhere else, forced to. My breathing became heavier, more panicked. The figures were scratching the windows persistently. I don't know how much time passed, but every second felt like an eternity. The scratching became louder and louder. Some of the figures were banging on the windows. The whispers had become growls. One of the windows shattered. The last thing I saw before blacking out was a shadowy arm reaching out to me. I woke up in a clean, white room, laying on a soft bed. A woman in a long white coat was next to me. "You're finally awake," she said. What happened?" I asked. "Your car was found flipped over on the side of a road. Frankly, it's a miracle you're alive." I was too relieved to be shocked. At least now I was alive, safe from those things. I suddenly remembered the man I had picked up. Oh God, was he safe? Had those things hurt him? "What about the other man in my car?" She looked at me with an expression of confusion. "There wasn't anybody else in your car," she said. I was too stunned to respond. Had it all been a hallucination? It seemed like the least terrifying explanation. I accepted it for the sake of my sanity. After a long stay at the hospital, I finally went home. I moved on with my life, never telling anyone about what I saw that night. But even now, on dark nights like that one, I still see shadowy figures reaching out to me in the corner of my eye.